Sports Now Lakers, driven by your Southern California Honda dealers. I'm Allie Clifton. He's the Hall of Famer, James Worthy. Tough Juice, Karan Butler. The Lakers insider, Mike Bresnahan.
Yeah.
Science.
Science.
What's over here?
Science.
It was just standing up next to you.
Yeah, we had a standing broom in the studio, and because of the universe, it's like doing something
Earth's
tonight.
axis is tilting properly.
Leave it to the
last
insider.
Yeah.
To come up with yeah, I didn't believe it.
Oh, it's
but we had a broom standing there, and I saw it. I didn't believe it, so they brought the broom in, and I stood it right there for a second, and it stood up.
Nacho, stand it up.
But when we
Got the
were on the
magic touch.
air, I turned into the janitor all of a sudden.
Big Game was not thrilled that it is real.
Look who's alive! Wow.
Shout out Nacho.
I got chills.
I know.
I don't like
Brez
this
is
game.
really confused. Apparently, the Earth is
I
at a
confess.
perfect tilt.
It's a regular broom.
today.
I thought it was like a trickery, but it's a real broom. So
Nacho, is there Velcro on the bottom of that thing? Are you sure it's not? All right.
yeah.
For our faithful Laker fans, thanks for hanging with
That's how we
us.
open
Shall
up
we
the show.
talk some purple and gold, who dominated tonight? We talked about it in the pregame. It was time to get back to taking care of home court. They'd lost 3 of their last 4 from contributions offensively all over the place. What a night for Rajon Rondo. Anthony Davis continuing to do work. Avery Bradley and the defensive effort on the Sun Stars. Devin Booker, guys, and Kelly Oubre, just 20 points tonight on 6 of 20 from the field. The Lakers are now 26-2 versus teams below 500. They're one step closer to ending this thing, heading into the All-Star break on a high note, just what Frank Vogel said they needed to do the other night after that win in Golden State.
Well, I thought they did a remarkable job at just, stepping up. One of the point of emphasis for me tonight for them was just on the defensive end of the floor, locking down and then taking care of the basketball and winning the points game in the paint. And they did all of those things. And I wanted to see LeBron get some much-needed rest down the stretch of the game. And I thought they did a remarkable job at closing these guys out down the stretch.
You know what I like about this game? A couple games ago, Frank Vogel was saying the Lakers are not honoring the game. They kind of messed around against Houston, kind of messed around against Golden State, both undersized teams. So what happens tonight? Phoenix starts 5 guys, none of them over 6'8", and the Lakers took care of business. They did not rush to get into their offense. They didn't have a lot of turnovers in that first half in particular. Got a nice little pad, a nice little lead, and sure enough, they closed out in Rondo. His best game in almost a year, scoring-wise. Good to see him hitting a bunch of threes. He looked sharp tonight.
He, of course, is the big reason why this game opened up there in the second quarter. Let's go back to Staples Center. Dwight Howard is with Mike Trudell.
All right, Dwight, this seemed like the first time this season that Frank shortened the bench rotation to 9 guys. You guys were pretty effective and efficient throughout. What did you see was working for that unit?
We tried to dominate the paint, make them have to play inside. We know they was missing a lot of their bigs, so we just tried to pound the paint, get their bigs in foul trouble, and then trust our shooters.
What do you think has been the most important thing for you guys as a unit throughout the season? What you added. You've also been on the court plenty with LeBron and AD with those units as well, Dwight. So what's that focus been kind of going back and forth between the bench and the starting units for you?
Just trying to do whatever I can to help this team win. Play as hard as I can. AD and LeBron, the head of the snake. It starts and finishes with them. The rest of us, we got to step up every night and play big. And it's about time to turn it up. We get ready for the second half of the season. It's time to destroy teams and not give any teams any hope. We got to dominate from first quarter to the fourth quarter.
1 game left before the All-Star break, Dwight. You go to Denver. You played really well there in a win earlier in the season. It won't be easy. What do you think the key is going to be in just closing out this first half the right way?
Same thing. We got to come out and dominate. We got to let them know that we're the best team in the NBA. We got to play like it every possession. Cut our turnovers down and just dominate.
I feel like I can't ask you about the dunk contest until that game's over. Right?
Yeah, until the game's over.
I mean, I want to, but we'll have to wait for that one, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Dwight. All right, guys, Dwight Howard helping the Lakers with a key effort off the bench tonight. 125-100 is your final. Lakers their 40th win of the season.
That's right, guys. Dwight Howard, one of 6 Laker player in double figures. But let's talk a little Rajon Rondo. What a night from him. Big game. We certainly want to know what he's going to be able to offer as that backup point guard. And tonight we saw a little taste of what he's really capable of. 23 points, 9 of 13 from the field, 4 of 5 from deep, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. I say the game ball goes to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Tonight, he did it tonight. I mean, he showed us what he's capable of. And it would be nice if he could, be consistent with that every night. 13 years, had an injured knee, got a lot of miles on. You can't expect him to, dominate every night. But as a backup, we need that. We didn't make any moves during the trade deadline. And we've always talked about Rondo being that guy. If he can continue at this pace, not necessarily scoring all the time, but if he can control the team and create some stability, that'll be just what we need.
Well, Rondo, definitely a former teammate of mine, and I think that when all the conversations was being had at the trade deadline, everyone was talking about the Lakers need a playmaker and someone that can knock down shots on the perimeter and do these things. And as a competitor, I just know that in his head, he's like, okay, let me go out here and show what I'm capable of doing. And like you said, big game, he has to do it on a consistent basis.
And actually scoring at this clip is kind of like the cherry on top, because you don't necessarily need him to score at this high clip. You need him to run the offense.
Exactly.
Steady, tempo. He was able to do that tonight.
Yeah, Karan, you took us up to the trade deadline. How about since the trade deadline? Darren Collison comes to Staples Center a couple nights ago. Laker fans get all excited about it. There's been a lot of talk about who the backup point guard should be. And Rondo's reminding everyone, you know what? I'll take care of that. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. Collison deciding recently he's going to stay retired instead of coming back to the NBA. And I'll tell you what, if Rondo is even half as productive as he was tonight, that's going to be a good sign for that backup point guard production. He's not going to get 20-plus points, every game, but still, nice game for him.
Yeah, he is a playoff guy, though.
Yeah.
So he did in New Orleans. Now he'll be ready.
Understands
when
the moment.
the travel slows down and you only got to concentrate on one team.
It's a great point.
That's when he comes alive. But we need him. We need him a little bit more in regular season.
How about the attack overall from the purple and gold, outscoring inside the paint the Phoenix Suns 58-38 all night long? Anthony Davis was seeing different kinds of looks. He was doubled. They were throwing zones at him. He was finding that open player. But the Lakers continued just to attack because, of course, Phoenix Suns were not only outsized, but they got a lot of bodies on the injured list. The Lakers took advantage.
Yeah, you talk about not having no one to protect the paint. No Aiden, no Baines, none of those guys available, and they took advantage of the mismatch. And I love the fact that AD, when he saw the mismatch, he just continued to pound it inside and, finish at the rim. And when things made themselves available on the perimeter, he was extremely smart and crafty enough to exercise the right to facilitate and kick it out to the perimeter so guys can knock down shot opportunities. But that's a presence where we know that we can dominate on a consistent basis, and we took full advantage of it tonight.
I like this effort a lot better than the Houston game when another undermanned team, what was it 6'5" or 6'6", was the Rockets' tallest starter. And you could sense the Lakers kind of panicking. We got to take advantage of this matchup. We got to pound it down low. We got to skip out of our offense, try to get some shortcuts. A lot of rushed shots in that game. Thus, the Lakers lost. Completely different story tonight. I thought they stayed within the framework of their offense. No hurried passes to the post. Much better execution against a small ball lineup. And James, you kind of hit on this the other day. Teams might start trying to throw small ball a lot more at the Lakers as we get further into the regular season and maybe even into the playoffs.
Yeah, they'll test them. I mean, when one team sees success from another team like Houston, maybe Golden State tried a little bit, they'll try it. Maybe not for a whole game, but they'll see if you can respond to it. And I think what you said about, AD recognizing. They recognized it this time. Sometimes you try to play through it and you just play hard without a purpose. But I think after Houston, after Golden State, they say, okay, we recognize what they're trying to do. They're trying to play a little bit of zone now, recognize that. Then you're able to, be successful in countering it. And I think that's what they're able to do against Phoenix tonight.
You guys was always showtime and playing with pace. Did any team ever take you guys away from doing what you guys did best?
There were teams that knew how to take the ball out of Magic's hand, but we always had the big fella. They'd rather for us, to run than to get in a half set with Kareem, because then you had Byron Scott shooting three. Kareem was going to get double teamed. Sometime I was in the post, And after a few years, I demanded a double team. So, yeah, our half court was spot on too. So you had to give up something.
To their point, still playing to